Just thinking, man. And what's so cool to you is you're a Chattanooga guy, so you're coming up through the system and playing for the Mocs. What's that like?
It's been great. It was a little different. I thought it was going to just really be a college guy, honestly. Didn't have a lot. I had a lot of offers, but not like what I wanted coming out of high school. So,
What were they?
App State, Georgia Southern, Ohio, Temple, EKU, MTSU, WKU, schools like that.
Yeah. I've had a bunch of kids that get off. I own the D1 in Chattanooga, also D1 in Hardin Valley and Knoxville. And we've had a lot of kids, a lot of athletes. It's that I call it the Kentucky circle. Like you get Western, you get Eastern, you'll get App, you'll get, you know what I'm saying? Like you've seen that domino effect to get that first one. So you from Chat? You played high school ball in Chat?
I went to Central.
Ah, okay. Got it.
Yeah, I played for Courtney Braswell.
Yep. Okay. All righty. You ready to do this?
Yeah, man. So McClendon Curtis, thank you so much for joining the show. I'm so glad that we get to talk about you as an NFL draft prospect. We were just looking over some of your numbers, and they were blowing my hair back. I don't have a lot of hair, but still impressive. I like to toss up some hair jokes for Devin. He likes to slam those down.
Yeah.
Super bald. I don't know why that adjective made it a little worse. 6'6", 324, ran a 5.24, 25 bench. How much can you bench? 225. How many times?
You got me?
Yeah, Devin.
I did 18 the other day.
Oh man.
But I'm not running a 5.2 440, that's for sure.
Yeah.
McClendon, Tim, are those numbers from your pro day this year? Is that what that was from?
The combine. So all those.
Okay, the NFL combine. Okay. How was your NFL combine experience?
It was fun. I really enjoyed it. Being around all the guys, honestly, wasn't anything kind of weird because some of the guys I was working with in Exos Pensacola. So just like being around them and we were just really having a good time. I enjoyed every part of it.
You know, it's interesting. I was down there last year with one of our guys, Matthew Butler, played at Tennessee. That guy ended up getting drafted by the Raiders, and we were down there last year. And this year, Noble, obviously, is the brand new sponsor of the Combine. And the first thing that took me back was all the stuff they brought in this year on the prep side before you went out there, like that turf, that training area. Like it was awesome what they did for you. How did that help you having those tools at your disposal, getting ready before you went out there?
It really was a lot. It was really helpful because we couldn't wear cleats on the turf.
Right.
Because it didn't have turf beads and stuff like that and it moved. But I mean, honestly, just being able to get out and move and do stuff instead of being in a hotel room or a hotel area. Exos had a big old suite at the bottom of the hotel, but having that in the weight room and then all the snacks, stuff like that, it was definitely helpful. So keeping up with the 225, honestly, I was just happy to get 25. I supposed to got 30, but after that first day of like doing your stuff, you're worn out. Yeah, I know.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know, what's funny is last year we're down there. So many the old thing is back in the day last year, they used to do all your warming up in the hallways. I'm sure you heard about this, but everything was done in the hallways, and you're prepping for all these different movements in a hallway of a hotel or a convention center. And so it's kind of ironic. But now it looked like it was a great experience. Well, congratulations on the success on the pro day and your combine.
Thank you.
Are there other people staying in that hotel that are like just there for a visit in town?
Yeah.
It's got to be super weird.
Yeah.
The hotel.
Super fast athletic guys.
Yeah, that is true. We're at the very bottom of the hotel. We're in a hotel by ourselves where like nobody can get in, stuff like that. And then there's a hotel across the street called not the Omni. It's like across the street where like most of the agencies stay. And Exos gets the whole bottom. Like we get the pool, everything like that. We'll go down there and do that stuff. And literally, like you said, it's a hallway. We use it's the room to the hallway. So I mean, it's interesting.
It's
interesting.
Yeah, it's a once in a lifetime experience. The security is super tight. It's a cool thing. And then it's funny, you do all this work for your whole career, and then it comes down to 72 hours, right? Like it's the most intense job interview I've ever seen. We've been very blessed to be around a lot of cool things at D1 before, right? But like when you're there at the combine and you see that and you experience it, it's like nothing else, man, in our space, for sure.
That is facts. I ain't gonna lie, it is stressful when those hours get down to it. So
Yeah. What about Cole Strange, his experience last year? I know you guys are good buddy. He calls you nephew, right? So what is that? I guess he had, first round pick Cole Strange. Has that connection helped you as you prepare for this at all?
yeah, especially like going into the interviews at the combine, he was like, I said, "What did you wear?" And he was like, "I wore khaki and like a polo, chat polo." So I got khaki and chat polo. Me and Paris Johnson are like real cool. So like I told Paris like I'm wearing this. So Paris went to his equipment guy and got some stuff too. So me and him were like the only two people at the combine in khakis and polos. And I mean it made us stick out. So I mean it
So I'm gonna
helped
tell
me
you
tremendously.
I'm gonna tell you Cole's strange story. So Cole trained with me when he was a freshman in high school. Okay. And Cole went through high school and he was a good football player, right? But he was strong, man. Cole was, and I know you know this, the way I'm like, but there was always a little screw loose with Cole in high school. Like, well, you need to have that, right? You got to have that to be able to drill somebody on Friday night or Saturday night. But what was so cool with Cole, he was bad.
That's why they connected so well.
Yeah, I'm three, bricks short of a dozen. But anyway, we're at a restaurant here in Knoxville about 2 months ago, right? And we're getting together, talk about some stuff, whatever. And he's coming in from chat. I guess his fiance or girlfriend, whatever, lives in chat still, right? And so he's coming up, and he shows up and walks in khakis. I think it was a Pink Floyd shirt or something, and like walks in, and all these like there's some different friends of ours from church. They're all kind of looking at him like, what does he do? He's a thick guy, big guy, but he's coming in khakis and like a Pink Floyd t-shirt, and you're like, you don't think that guy's going to be a 15-year starter for the Patriots, right? But it was so cool because what's great about Cole, I think, for our area is kind of like you're a Chattanooga guy, right? Through and through. He was an Knoxville guy, now Chattanooga guy, but he's so unassuming and he's so humble. And he comes in here and he goes to it where he went to high school, Farragut High School, and I hear stories when he's in the weight room there too, doing stuff. And he's just always looking to like help out in the younger kids. And here at D1 a couple times this year, he did a couple workouts. He was back in town. He's just such a humble guy. It's just those are the kind of kids like you look at and just say, man, that's awesome to see them succeed. So great for UTC too. Two guys get drafted 2 years in a row. That's incredible for that, for the SoCon.
It is for sure. Now Cole is humble. That's one thing. That's why we got along so well. He helped me find my loose screw a little bit. I'm like cool, like same way, cool, calm, collected off the field, but on the field as I got like more comfortable playing. Just a different person. I don't say much, but I kind of just when people talk mess, I laugh a lot, and then I put you in the ground.
Good news is we have a guy named Steve Nuss who's a man, and he can edit anything out. So we're good there. Okay, so we're good. But go ahead.
Something that he was talking about Cole in school, and it reminds me. So there's 100 like NFL draft podcasts out there that talk about the numbers and all that kind of stuff. But something that always is really interesting to me, because I'm 42, but I still have, a 14-year-old that is perceiving the world, most of the time during the day. And that's what I like to hear from, guys like you and some of these star athletes is what was life like for you when you were a little kid, like that age when you first started realizing, I love football. I'm not out here just because my mom signed me up. Well, paint a picture for me. What was, if McClendon ever was little, what was sports like for you as a little guy?
To be honest, I kind of fell in love with football. I think it was like my 8th grade year. I was like, I want to say 7th or 8th grade year. I was playing tight end and receiver because we would take advantage of like, our height using it in middle school. And I wasn't 300 pounds yet. So I got 300 pounds about 9th grade, whatever. So I fell in love with because I thought I was like a little skilled guy, whatever it may be, and a D lineman. And just watching sports as things transition when I got to the high school area or being around high school in 8th grade, they literally were like, "Hey, you're playing D line." And when I got used to understanding how the movements were, I fell in love with it because I was like, I get to hit people. all the time, like being low, using my length. I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't the best. I wasn't the best D lineman, but I was playing at McCallie at the time. So like I'm playing Jalen Ramsey, Derek Barnett, Ty Chandler, like all these guys, and just seeing the opportunities I get on the field and off the field. Coach was like, "Hey, McClendon, like we need you to start this game." I never started, came in rotation guy. We'll be honest. When I started starting, because a guy in front of me, he was very scared of a certain offensive line. He faked the injury that game. So my first start was versus I think it was some Kentucky Christian school. They haven't lost a game in 3 years. So like it's a big game. I'm going out there. I'm like, all right, I don't know what's about to happen, but we're gonna go out there and make plays. And if you watch my old film, dude, I look at myself then and now it's night and day. But I mean, just those growing pains made me love the game. Like being unathletic, I feel like, or not understanding my body. I've always been huge, and I never understood my body until I got older. So,
It's that problem all the time.
man, and it's still like I understand it more so now than I obviously did as a ninth grader, eighth grader, whatever. But dude, that's what made me love it, because seeing everybody around me, like, one thing I would say, everybody around me always was better, but like I will always work harder. I was like never complacent with what was going on. So like I think that's something that's helped me along the way and made me love the process of the game.
Funny, every high level athlete that I've come across in 20 years of doing this says the same thing at some point. They fell in love with the process, right? Like whatever that process might be, like it might be, the weight room, it might be off, skills work and whatever. They have to fall in love with the process because it's a grind, man. As you know, it's a marathon and it's not a sprint, right? So
Yep.
like, I think a couple of things on a lot of our athletes that are going to listen to this that are younger that I think are really good, teaching tools for them of what you just said is one, like you just kept grinding, man. Like you kept working at it. And then two, like I just imagine you getting up in a slot spot, like, going around like a little out at your size. I bet you they were freaking out. But more than anything is that like, trust the process, understanding how to, perfect your position, and then also like look at like where you've gone. I'm sure there's guys ahead of you that were ranked ahead of you in high school that aren't getting this opportunity you're getting right now, right? And like that's why like I'm always like to our high school kids, I'm like, dude, it doesn't matter your star rating, right? You just need to get an opportunity to show what you can do at the next level, because that's what matters, right? I mean, so I think some really cool things for our athletes out there that are listening to this that they can take from that to kind of your story. And I'm sure you've heard a lot of other athletes, similar stories. So that's really cool but that is that same thing. Trust the process,
Man,
embrace it.
I was a 3-star. And one thing is, I only went to 2 camps in my whole college or high school career. 2 camps.
Really? Wow.
I was not a big camp guy. I did not believe in like spending my time, wasting my time going to camps. And I am the size I am, but if you need it, go to the camp. If you don't go to the camp. But I was a guy like, all right, I'm gonna spend most of my time working out. Offers will come, they'll see my high school tape. But I was a 3-star. I got moved to a 2-star when I committed to Chat. They dropped 24/7 dropped my rating after I committed to Chat. So like you said, stars don't matter, man. I've seen guys with a lot of stars and not do well. I mean, it's just all about, like you said, falling in love with the process, working hard. And just me, one thing I said, I've had opportunities or I had moments where coaches like passed over me. Like I was starting, they recruited a guy. We didn't compete for the spot, gave him the spot. And Cole knows the story. Shoot, Cole was happy I was about to start. He was the left guard, I was the right guard. And what had happened was they gave him the spot. I was about to transfer actually, and I just waited out till Coach Wright got there. From that point on, I said never again will I allow somebody to like. They would be dumb to take me off the field. So that's the mindset like I have. Like you're going to have to put me somewhere. So that's just how I roll now.
And that actually leads to one of the questions I wanted to ask you later is, but I think that really segues into it well, is like, why should an NFL GM why do they take you? If they're looking, let's call it, I don't know, 4th, 5th round, they're looking at, I need some interior offensive line help. Why do they pick, this guy from Chattanooga over somebody else? I think what you're just saying is certainly part of that reason.
Yeah, I mean, I never really get complacent with anything. This whole process, I just still, you don't know where you're gonna be, you don't know what round you're gonna go, and just keep working. Like I like to say, one thing I always tell myself in college, like guys like to, smoke weed and all that stuff and drink, and like I ain't gonna lie, I'll drink a little bit, but I always tell myself, give my body the best chance to perform on the field, to be successful. So like, I mean, Coach Wright doesn't like weed. He doesn't like it at all. I go out there, I don't do any of that, give myself the best chance, because the rest of life I got the chance to do it. You know what I'm saying? They gonna go nowhere. It might get better, it might get worse, and they gonna go nowhere. So that's how I approach everything. I don't want to be complacent. I want to get better. I want to help the team. Like, I'm not a me guy. Offensive linemen are truly, it takes a lot for an offensive lineman to be a me guy, because that position ain't just a you guy. You got to work with somebody. So, like, that's just how I look at it. Like, that's what you're getting. Someone that's going to always compete.
I think it's interesting. It's like, as from a GM perspective, when there's so many variables that go into making a selection, because it's such a big investment by that organization to pick somebody in those first 6 rounds, right? I mean, they only get so many every year, and they're so valuable. You see talks about like Aaron Rodgers getting, like, they don't want to give up a first round pick from the dude's multi-time MVP, Super Bowl winner, and they don't want to give up a first round pick. That's how much value they put in these draft picks, right? And so I think they look at it as much of an investment in you as anything else, and they want to make sure that you're committed to that investment. So I think your mentality is a type of mentality that keeps players in the league for a decade plus, not, what does NFL stand for? Not,
Not for long.
Not for long, right? Yeah. So you don't want to be that guy. So now I did hear something. I don't know, but I heard you like to cook. That's all right. So I gotta tell me what is like your dish to cook. Like, what is McClendon putting on the stove tonight for that?
Shoot. I mean, it goes, if we're going high class, it's always the tomahawk. Big tomahawk.
We're always high class here. High class. Steve, Case, we're all high class here.
Yeah. Tomahawk with the homemade loaded mashed potatoes with the bacon, chives, cheese, sour cream, milk, mixing all that up together, and then Parmesan crusted asparagus. That's my little go-to.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
So I made some Phillies. I brought a Blackstone recently, the electric one. So I made some Phillies on it this past weekend.
Aren't those things great? I got one for Christmas and I use it all the time.
Makes life so much easier.
I see a sponsorship deal. I don't know. I'm not his agent, but I'm just saying.
That's what I've been working on. That's what I've been working on. I tag them in everything I make on that Blackstone.
There you go. Now we're making moves. Now we're doing something.
What about in Chattanooga? What's your favorite restaurant?
I guess, I mean, Ruth Chris has been good. Ruth Chris is good.
That's right by D1 too.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I live over here actually. So I live in East Brainerd. So that's, I took my mom there. Took my mom there for her birthday. She enjoyed it. I think it is Ruth Chris. But then sometimes nothing touches like the J. Alexander's warm carrot cake.
See, that's my father-in-law's roommate in college was their CFO for a long time. And I had never been experienced J. Alexander's about 5 or 6 years ago. And we went down to the one in Nashville. Man, life-changing. Calamari is incredible at J. Alexander's. There's also one right by our D1 in Hoover, Alabama. So every time we go down there, I'm a big J. Alexander's fan. There's also one right next to D1 too in Chattanooga. So yeah, that's the spot for sure. Well, let me ask this question. I'm a senior in let me back up. I'm a junior in high school. Okay. This is gonna be interesting. And I'm getting reps, but I feel like I'm getting kind of shafted. And with the portal and high school changing, with TSSAA rules might be shifting, so there might be some transfer rules changing and that. What are your thoughts on players transferring in high school, and also because you did that, you went through that, it sounds like. And then what is your thoughts on the transfer portal on the collegiate setting?
High school, if it is truly high school is kind of hard, because if it's a high school like Macaulay's, like politics. Big politics school. Like, I wasn't paying for it out of my pocket. The state was. So, like, there was a handful of us that were on that type of payment plan from the state to take care of our school. So when kids weren't playing and their parents paying that money, like I was like, it's not my fault your son isn't that good. So at that point, we're just like, all right, plus like coach was throwing away guys' letters. If it's something like that and you don't feel comfortable in that area or that school, like I would say transfer, but not like 3-4 times. I know kids have transferred like 3-4 times in high school. Like that's too much. But honestly, once and you feel like it's a for sure fit for the next 2 years or 3 years you got left in high school, like do it. But college-wise, I'm on the NCAA oversight committee. So like we talk about the portal all the time and we want to like manage it because where like now kids don't understand. Like they get mad at coaches or whatever. They hop in the portal so fast but don't understand like you're just like another number. You're not even a player no more. You're a number. And sitting there that long in that portal, like 1,000+ people, is not the best thing at all. Like not the best thing at all. Because when coaches see it, it's open for a period of time, and we're trying to change it to where we can either go, we can shorten the time or require certain amount of guys to enter the portal. But we want to educate them first. That's the one thing. Guys aren't educated. Like at Chat, our compliance company, our compliance people make sure you know the rules and what's about to happen to you. Not every school does that. You can say, I'll get in the portal and you out locked out. You ain't got nothing. Your card, your meals plan card is gone, all that. Like Chat's going to let you know, like, hey, this is what's going to happen. Look, don't be surprised. But some guys just hop in it, don't listen to nobody, uneducated, and then never play college football again. So that's the things with it. I don't like it, but
once you jump in, can you go back?
If they
go back
let
to your
you go
school?
back, if
Okay,
they
yeah.
let you.
Yeah,
But
I think that's the key phrase right there.
Yeah.
So
if it's Coach Wright, he ain't letting you back.
right. Just moments before we started, I was talking with our man Steve here that about the guy in Florida. He was a starter, started like 40 games, went in the portal, thought he was going to commit to USC, and then now he's not going to USC. So don't know, is he coming back to Florida? What's going to happen with that? So like you're saying, there's probably tons of stories like that.
Yeah. And everybody's looking for money. Like, and one thing is like for my thing this last year, people thought I was going to leave Chat, and everybody was like offering me South Carolina, North Carolina, and like they're not gonna, admit it. But it's the DMs. People will go to their DMs, not like coaches, but like somebody in their athletic department will DM you. And they're asking like Illinois, who else was it? Not Auburn. I think it was Ole Miss or Auburn, and then Miami. And they're willing to pay you a certain amount, and guys are looking for that paycheck. But, if you got a little sense, you got a little sense and you got a little loyalty left in you, you're going to stick around because, I mean, you kind of, like me personally, it'd be dumb for me to leave. I got it made. This is my city. I run Chattanooga, respectfully run Chattanooga. Yeah. So, like, like that's how I felt, why not finish here and make it look good for my city? So
also, too, I think that's going to actually help you in the interview process at the next level. Because coaches and organizations look at an athlete like yourself, and they're not going to want somebody that's been like, all right, when the rookie contract gets up, they're like, see ya. We're not even thinking about that. We're just going to leverage you, right? So it shows that there's a level of, commitment, loyalty. It sounds like with what you've been doing that we might see you having involvement in the NFLPA one day, possibly.
Yeah, that's what everyone say. Even the Cardinals guy, Isaiah Mack, who plays for the Jets, he's like, "Yeah, bro, you're gonna be at somebody PA." Then the Cardinals guy for player development, he's like, "You're gonna be a PA rep." I was like, "Goodness."
You know what? Like we said earlier, it's not for long, right? So you're building your resume for when the game, because the game can give you so much, and you want to take as much from it as you can as well. So it sounds like you're doing all the right things, man.
Got to.
Yep.
And when you talk about that NIL, basically that space, that's what that money that folks are offering. I think I mentioned this to you that D1 is now partnering with UTC, their athletic department. So that's something we're really excited with getting involved with. So it's it's right after McClendon leaves, but hopefully we'll get a lot of work with some of those athletes. Getting them to come in and do some some clinics and whatever it might be, just hooking up with D1. I think that could be a pretty cool connection.
I think so too. I mean, there is still a few guys left from Chat on the team that, has that great influence of getting guys to come to certain places. So, if you look into that, I'm definitely looking forward to my first camp next year, though. That's one thing I'm looking forward to.
Yep.
My high school already told me I got access to everything I need and want, so we're gonna make it big.
There you go. It's cool too. Like when you go back and you see those kids that you talked about, that 8th grade version of you, right? You're gonna see tons of those, like, that guy reminds me of me, right? And then you're out there, helping them whatever they might need help in. So, well, man, I think it sounds like you're on the road to success, my friend. And I think we just appreciate you taking some time to spend some time with us and hear your story.
No, I appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah. I got one quick question that I ask everybody on the way out. As we are D1, what is your favorite workout exercise?
Dude, I guess it's something I did today, and I got it from Buddy. I think his last name Buddy Simmons or something like that. The guy from the Arizona Cardinals strength coach. He said that Trent Williams does like bandit pass pro sets. I guess that could be a workout or whatever. But I did it for the first time today. That was something I enjoyed, having that resistance to help me like get out faster once I'm not have the band on me. So that's something I like. Besides that, I'm a big bench and leg press or a box squat guy. I love box squat with the safety bar. Can't lie.
I did live that yesterday. A huge box squat. And as you get older, that box squat is your favorite thing because your knees will love it. I can tell you that right now.
Yep, exactly. Yep. People don't understand. Like, they want me to squat. No, I said, no. Box squat.
No.
Actually, one more for you. And this is people that listen to the show, they've heard me talk about ad nauseum my personal love for the Carolina Panthers. We're about to select a quarterback that's the size of Vern Troyer. Do you think that that size, in your opinion, as a 6'6" guard, having a 5'10" quarterback behind you in the league, do you think that's going to be an issue, or do you think that a guy that has his mobility is going to be just fine?
I think he'll be fine. It just becomes nagging when you don't know. Like, the D linemen constantly move. They already move to begin with, but when he's moving side to side, it's going to really like make your block hard. You really, unless you really like lock down that that defender, and him moving. I mean, yeah, it creates more plays, but at the same time, that pass pro is going to be a lot more tedious than he is already. So, I mean, he could do it, but that offensive line is going to have to be able to hold it for a lot longer than 3-4 seconds.
Yeah. So if Carolina drafts you, I'll reach back out and we'll see how you feel still.
That is true. Yeah, we'll see how we feel. But he might make it easy on you. I mean, he's that guy. I'm cool with one of his teammates, and I mean, he says that's the best quarterback he's played around, and he was with. I think he had Tua. and Jalen. He didn't play with Jalen, but he was there, and he was like, Bryce, by far is better.
Nice. Well, McClendon Curtis, thank you so much. Best of luck. We're going to be watching on draft night, buddy. Thank you so much.
Good luck, bud.
I appreciate it. Thank y'all.
See you, bud.
See you.